Hi everybody, this is Kefren, your favorite French Canadian. Today I'm gonna do a guide on Rust, how to boost your FPS. I think my last guide was like 3 years ago and the game was still in early access. So I'm gonna do a complete refresh for this one. A lot of stuff changed. You now have a lot of different options also inside of the game. So we will start with Windows. Make sure that you have like a proper setting to run this game. First of all, write game mode in your search bar. Make sure that your game mode is at off. Really important. It's causing like stuttering in this game for me on both of my computer, my desktop, even on my laptop. So really important to put this one at off. Also, you want to put your Xbox game bar at off. And finally, the capture, background recording at off, recorded audio at off. All those overlay that you're currently using, the Discord overlay, Nvidia, AMD, whatever overlay that you're currently using, make sure that you disable them. It's causing some issue with Rust. The only one that you can't really use, it's like stuff like MSI Afterburner, because you just want to see your stats when you're playing, like FPS, degrees, and stuff like that, temperature. But you can activate them in the console in Rust if you want to see your FPS, ping, etc. So you don't really need MSI Afterburner. Another thing that you can do is write GPU in your settings. Click graphics setting. Make sure that your hardware accelerated GPU scheduling is at on, and you will need to restart your computer to make sure that this setting is applied. You need the Nvidia 1000 series or more recent. And for AMD, I'm not too sure if they did the update right now, so I'm not too sure if you can't use this. Just maybe comment in the YouTube section and tell me if it's working on, for an example, an RX 580 or the new 5700 XT. So I'm not too sure about AMD. One last thing, we will talk about the power saving energy. So just write energy over there, click power sleep setting, click additional power setting. Normally you will just see the one from Windows, so make sure that you're using the high performance one. You don't want to use power saver. I know a lot of people with laptop, sometimes they have like issues with their laptop. They don't understand why performance is so poor. Even when you plug in the wall, they're still staying at power saver. So you really need to use high performance. You want to make sure that you're using the maximum power of your CPU and also your GPU. So really important. For me, I have an AMD processor, a Ryzen one on a desktop. So when you download the chipset from the AMD website, they will give you a plan. I did a couple of tests between balance and high performance, and for whatever reason, I'm doing a better score in Cinebench and 3D Marks and stuff like that with balance. I think it's because it's generate less heat, and I'm getting a better boost in my clock. So that's why balance it's better for my Ryzen. One more thing, it's your GPU. So right click on your driver, go to control panel if you have an Nvidia card. You can do the same thing with the AMD card. Go to manage 3D setting and make sure that your power management mode is at prefer maximum performance. Really important, this one. Again, you don't want to have like some random power saver settings. On my laptop, I have a Dell XPS. My 1050 mobile was at adaptive. I don't know why. So I put this one at prefer maximum performance, and it's a lot better now with my laptop. So that's about it for the Windows setting. Now we will go inside of the game. You will see that you have a lot of different like parameter that you can change. You can make the game looks really bad, but you will have a lot of FPS. So I will try to help explain you like what you need to change and what parameter have the most impact, because it's really tough to tell. Some people will run with an integrated video card with their laptop, and another one will try to run the game with a GTX 960. So it really depends. So I'll try to help you the best that I can. So let's go inside of the game. So now inside of the game, so let's start with the option. We're gonna start with option over there. Field of view, it's a preference thing. I always play my first person at 90. So you can lose a little bit of FPS when you go higher on this game because you render more in front of you, but it's not that bad. It's like difference one. I compare 75 to 90, and I'll add like a difference of 2 FPS, so it's not a huge thing. So yeah, that's about it. The most important thing here is the physics. Make sure that max gib is at 0. really important. It will help you a lot with your FPS. If you have like a low tier CPU, this one is really important. After that, screen, make sure that you're playing your native resolution. For me, it's 1080p, so depending on your monitor, 1080p, 2K, 4K, or even less, 720p. So native resolution over there. Mode, really important, play exclusive. Don't go with borderless on other mode. You will lose FPS and you can also have stuttering. I don't activate VSync. I don't really have tearing in this game, and I don't want any input lag, so that's why I'm putting VSync at off. But use the FPS limit. Don't go too crazy with this one. So for me, I have a 144 Hz screen. I'm putting 144 over there. If you have a 60 Hz screen, make sure that you put 60 Hz, 60 FPS. Sorry. You don't want to generate more FPS if your monitor can't render it. It will generate more heat in your computer, and if you don't have a proper temperature inside of your case, like you don't have a lot of fan and stuff like that, it can cause stuttering because your component will overheat. After that, graphics. So first of all, the graphic quality, this one it's pretty much, it has a variable impact. This is more like your texture, so not necessarily like, it's not like a preset for all your graphic over there. So me, I'm putting at 3 to 4. You don't have a big impact. You will start to see it at 5 or 6. And if you have like, I don't know, 1 gig of VRAM on your GPU, go with 0. 2 gig, go with something like 1. And after that, you can like put higher graphic quality. After that, shadow quality, this one has a huge impact. If I compare 3 to 0, you can gain like 9 to 10% in your FPS. Me, I'm staying at 1 because at 0, you will see that your image quality it's a bit weird when the shadow quality is at 0. So that's why I'm playing at 1. Shadow quality, put no cascade over there. Yeah, and that's about it. After that, max shadow, light, and water quality. Those one have a moderate impact, but I don't see a huge impact in my image quality with those ones, so that's why I'm putting 0. But if I compare 3 to 0, you can gain like 4% in your FPS, so not a huge deal, but still I'm playing at 0 for those one. Water reflection and world reflection, those one have like a low impact, so you can easily go with 1 with this one, and also 1 for the water reflection. But again, depending on your rig, like I was telling you guys, if you're playing like on a laptop with an integrated video card, you will for sure struggle with this game, so you will need to put a lot of stuff at 0. But if you have something like a GTX 960, those water quality and water reflection, you can easily put those one at 1. Shader level, it really depends on where you are in the in this bar. So for a low impact, go something like 100 to 300 depending on your computer. Moderate impact will be 300 to 500, but you will see that your image quality will it's crazy. If you go 100 to 500, it's a big difference in your image quality. So really depend again on your rig. If you want like a really high impact, for sure 500 and more will have a high impact. If you want something like just nice, go with 400. And if you really need FPS, go between 100 and 200. Draw distance, this one also high impact on your FPS. So if I compare the maximum, the 2500 to 500, you can gain like 16 to 18% in your FPS. Me, I'm going with something like 1000. I still want to see some draw distance in front of me because it's a PvP game. Honestly, also I'm playing like sometimes at 1500, really depending on like which graphic parameter and how many people are in the server. But the draw distance, for sure, if you're playing with an integrated video card, go with 500. It will give you a lot of FPS. So that's about it. Shadow distance, I'm playing at 120. Again, shadow distance, I have like a moderate slash high impact. I don't like it at 50, so that's why I'm playing like at sometimes 120, 150. So do your test over there. But if you play on a low-end computer, all those shadow settings, make sure that they are like at very low. Really important. It will give you a lot of FPS. Anisotropic filtering, this one is a bit weird. They had like a big impact on my FPS. Normally I always play 16 on any game, so in this game I just play at 1. It's causing like issues with my FPS and also the stability of my FPS, so go with 1 for this one. Parallax mapping, I'm playing at 0. I did a comparison between 2, 1, and 0, the impact of my visual and the impact on my FPS, and honestly 0 is a good thing to go. Grass displacement, I'm playing at off. After that, mesh quality. So the first two one, particle quality and object quality, they have like a moderate impact. I'm playing like this. Particle quality will mostly affect your CPU. So if you don't have a good CPU but you have a good GPU, go lower with this one. If it's not the case, like just go with something like 41. Object quality and tree quality, this one is a moderate impact. Tree quality, don't go too crazy with this one. When you go more than 100, you will see now that it's getting like you will have like a big impact, but at like 80, 85, you will have like a moderate / low impact. Max tree mesh, this one has a huge impact on your FPS, so low-end computer, go really low with this one, and if you have like a mid-range computer, you can easily go with something like between 30 and 50. After that, terrain quality, grass quality, decor quality, it's pretty much low impact for those ones, so you can go a little bit more higher with those ones. I'm going with 65 for those 3 parameters. So that's about it for the graphic option. Now let's go in the image effect. So image effect, everything I'm putting at off. Ambient occlusion has a huge impact on your FPS, so go with off. Depth of field, this is not like a parameter that you want to use anyway. Motion blur also. So, but the biggest impact will be ambient occlusion. If I compare on to off, you can get like 6 to 8% boost in your FPS. Anti-aliasing, it's different. I feel like anti-aliasing at off in this game, the game looks really like crap. So I'm going with the max one, the TSAA. You will lose FPS if you have like a null rig. If you have a null rig, go with FXAA. So you will still have an anti-aliasing, but less impact because it's a null way to do anti-aliasing. So this is pretty much it for the anti-aliasing. Experimental, I don't use anything in this, so just stay at default. So off, 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 and the last one is sustain pedal support. It's just enabled to allow sustain pedal input from MIDI device while playing instrument, so it doesn't like change anything in your FPS. You can stay this one at on. So that's about it, guys, for the guide of Rust. A lot of stuff changed if I compare it with 3 years ago. For sure, the population of the server will impact your FPS. So if you do, I don't know, you test your graphic parameter when you are alone in the server, everything will be super smooth. But when you will go in some server with 100, 150%, and a lot of people are starting to raid you, shoot, and stuff like that, you will see that your FPS will decrease a lot. So make sure that you test your parameter in like some server with with some action, because it's vary a lot in this game. And also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If you have like any question, just comment in the YouTube section, post me your rig, CPU, GPU, RAM. RAM is really important in this game. If you have like 8 gig of RAM, you can easily like improve your experience in this game with the 8 gig. Just add like 8 gig in your computer. 16 RAM will help you a lot with this game. And yeah, that's about it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and have fun in Rust. Peace.